This may quite possibly be the strangest video I've ever made. Recently, I went to Gen Con, and while I have a ton to say about the convention, how much fun it was, and all the board games I played there, I'd like to talk about an appetizer I discovered years ago at a steakhouse right next to the convention center that held Gen Con. When you go to a coffee shop and you see a sign that says World's Best Coffee, you just roll your eyes and move on. But when you go to Harry and Izzy's restaurant located in Indianapolis, Indiana, you better believe they're being brutally honest when they say that their shrimp cocktail is world famous. To make a long story short, it is deserving of the world famous title, but there's so much more that goes into what makes it unique than a simple title. Let's start from the beginning. What makes it different from any other shrimp cocktail? Shrimp cocktail traditionally has shrimp and cocktail sauce. Seems simple enough. And cocktail sauce generally has a very specific flavor that everyone who has ever had it could describe as a bit like ketchup, but more tangy and less salty. Enter the challenger, horseradish. Chances are you've probably had horseradish sauce before, but horseradish sauce is much more mild than horseradish itself. The creamy, mayo-like base with which people tend to make horseradish sauce seems to kind of mellow out the potency. But we're not talking about horseradish sauce, we're talking about horseradish. Raw horseradish is very rarely used in cooking, but one common example I could point to is wasabi. What makes wasabi spicy is its horseradish. All the other ingredients found in wasabi are actually used for mellowing out the strength of the horseradish. But it can't be that simple, right? You can't just add raw horseradish to something and that makes it famous, right? Well, no, and that's where the shrimp comes in. I don't know how to describe it, but when horseradish comes into contact with something cold that it can soak up, it tastes stronger? If horseradish is cooler, it tends to be more potent, and cold jumbo shrimp are the perfect vessel into which raw horseradish can finally be its true self. Alright, so what's your point, Run Red 2 Blue 4? The shrimp is spicy, is that it? Well, not exactly. You see, horseradish can be described as spicy, but it has a property that no other spice has, and that is, it's vicious and intense for just a moment, and then immediately subsides. People who like spicy food sometimes like it because of the challenge that comes along with eating something spicy. But when you eat horseradish, you're signing up for approximately 5 seconds of pain, followed immediately by being completely fine. And that's what's so strange about it. It only lasts for a moment. But that's also what makes it the perfect appetizer. You don't have to fear that your evening is ruined because you ate something with a strong aftertaste. Everything that horseradish does to you, it does for just a moment, and then you can move on like nothing happened. Additionally, traditionally spicy food affects your tongue. Horseradish affects primarily your sinuses. There were times after eating the shrimp cocktail where I could swear that I could smell sound. Okay, but you want to know how it tastes, right? Yeah, absolutely, the shrimp cocktail tastes really good. But taste alone isn't what makes this shrimp cocktail world famous. No, rather, it's made famous by the experience that you have in eating it. One of my favorite things to do at Harry and Izzy's is watch people's reactions after having a bite of the shrimp cocktail with significant amounts of horseradish. It's humorous at worst and memorable at best. And with that, I hope you have a great day and maybe try some new food soon. Thank you for watching.